In this video, we're going to be taking a look at area of triangles. Now, you'll need to get out your Go Math book, turn to page 377, your math journal, and a pencil. So the essential question is, how do you find the area of a triangle? We're not going to draw the large rectangle that we see. We can see it right here on page 377. First of all, what is the formula for the area of a rectangle? And it's base times height. So if we draw one diagonal of our rectangle, you can see right here, we can see the diagonal divides that rectangle into two right triangles. We can see one right triangle here. You can see it has an angle of 90 degrees and one right triangle on the right hand side. Okay, so each one represents, we can see, half of the rectangle. And based upon this information and the formula for area of a rectangle, we want to write the area or the formula for the area of a right triangle. So since it's half, we know base times height is the area of a rectangle. So area is going to equal 1/2 base times the height. 1/2 times the base times the height. So we're going to skip over to page 378 where it says finding the area of a triangle. So we know the area A of a triangle is half the product of its base B and its height H. Okay, so area equals 1/2 times the base times the height. So let's take a look at example number 1. It says find the area of each triangle. So we can see, first of all, we can see that we have 20 meters and 8 meters. So the base is 20 meters, the height is 8 meters. So what we can see here, it says area equals 1/2 times the base times the height. So we can plug in the numbers now. 1/2 times 20 meters, which is the base, height, which is 8 meters. So we can multiply 1/2 times 20, which is 10. 10 times 8 gives us 80 square meters. Now let's take a look at letter B. Okay, we have base, which is 12, height is 5. Remember, the area is 1/2 times the base times the height. So we're going to have 1/2 times 12 times 5. Then we multiply 1/2 times 12 gives us 6, times 5 gives us 30 square inches. Now let's take a look at number 3. We'll do this together. We have area equals 1/2 times the base times the height. Okay, so we can see the base here is 8.5. So area equals 1/2 times 8 5/10 times the height, which is 14. Now we can multiply 1/2 times 8.5. That's going to give me 4 25/100. Now we're going to multiply that 4 25/100 times 14. And we can use a calculator for this. 4 25/100 times 14 is going to give me 59 5/10 inches squared. So we can write that for our answer. Area equals 59 5/10 inches squared. Now let's take a look at problem solving using area of triangles on page 379. It says you can use a formula for the area of a triangle to solve real-world problems. So we can see example number 2. It says each triangular face of the pyramid of peace in Kazakhstan is made up of 25 smaller equilateral triangles. These triangles have measurements as shown in the diagram. What is the area of one of the smaller equilateral triangles? So first of all, with this step, we want to identify the length of the base and the height of the triangle. So we can see the base equals 12, the height is 10.4 meters. And then we want to use the formula to find the area of the triangle. Area equals 1/2 times the base times the height. And we can multiply 1/2 times the base, which is 12, times the height, 10 4/10. We can multiply all that together. That gives us 62 4/10. And the area of one small equilateral triangle is 62 4/10 meters squared. So let's turn over to page 380. Let's take a look at number 4. It says, what is the total area of one face of the pyramid? What is the total surface area of the faces of the pyramid, not counting the bottom? And it says, hint, the bottom of the pyramid is the square. Okay, so we already found the area of one of the small pyramids, okay, of one of the 25 equilateral triangles. We have the 62 4/10, so we're going to multiply that 62 4/10 times 25. That's going to give us 1,560 meters squared. Now, we know that there are 25 total, so that's why we multiplied it by 25, and we know that there are 4 faces of the pyramid. Okay, so each face has a total area of 1,560. Or multiply that by 4, gives us 6,240 meters squared for the surface area. Now let's take a look at number 5. It says Amy needs to order a shade for a triangular shaped window that has a base of 6 feet and a height of 4 feet. What is the area of the shade? So again, we're going to write down our formula. Let's do this together. Area equals 1/2 times the base times the height. Now we're plugging our numbers. Area equals 1/2 times the base, which is 6, times the height, which is 4. Now we can multiply. Area equals 1/2 times 6 gives us 3, times 4 gives us 12. So the area of the shade is 12 feet squared. Now what I would like you to do is number 1 on page 380. You can work on that all by yourself, and you can work on that now. And we can see the answer for number 1 is 56 inches squared. Now let's take a look at number 2. And I want you to work on that independently, and you can work on that now. And you can see the answer for that is 180 inches squared. Now, wrapping up the video, we have how do you find the area of a triangle? And we can see that use the formula area equals 1/2 times the base times the height. You want to substitute the known dimensions into the formula and solve the equation. So this concludes the video on areas of triangles. If you have any questions about this concept, please come and see me.